I hit the live button. I gotta freaking go on Twitch, go on YouTube, go on Twitter. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Twitch Tuesdays, now on Wednesday, now on YouTube. Now at 6:20 Pacific. Weird time to start, but we need people to filter in.
Yeah.
We're just gonna be talking about some stuff today. We got a couple of news items to talk about. We both saw Thor: Love and Thunder. We both saw the end of Miss Marvel. So that should take up most of our time.
Yeah. Little snack pack episode while Dylan transitions to an entirely new home. Nat stays in the exact same home.
Yep.
And we all just remain on fire. Because that's what it looks like when you watch it and you see us being cooked by purple flames.
It's true, yeah. I really like the purple. Is this because I know the Ladies' Night flame? It looks very similar to this.
Yeah, I know we got the purple because of Twitch, but
they kind of did their thing first. We just got to go over the purple.
Yeah, I think we need to do something about like our design. We should redesign soon.
I almost pulled the Dylan, and I almost tweeted out the StreamYard link.
I've only done that one time. And nobody came in because I got rid of it very quickly.
Hang on, let me
if a rando commentator came in, I probably wouldn't be the most interesting. It wouldn't be the most worst thing that happened on the show. So.
No. There's been far worse things that have happened on this show.
Oh yeah,
I wouldn't even crack the top 10.
Yeah. I want to banter a little bit before we get into the content because we're waiting for people to roll in. Let's just talk about things that are fucked up that we've read today. So we got news and footage from the Uvalde police situation. Man, those guys suck.
Yeah. No, we can all agree on that. Those guys suck.
Yeah, we knew, but man, that footage, those guys suck. That's not anti all cops, most cops, but those ones, those guys suck. Other fucked up thing I read today. You ready for this one?
Tell me.
So I read today on it was a Reddit post where apparently an 18-year-old girl had came home from school or whatever the fuck she was doing, and her mother was giving her father a lap dance, which whatever, trying to keep the marriage spicy, not too judgmental so far. But the mom was wearing the daughter's clothes. So the daughter, did the full 360, walked right out the door. And then later, when dad wasn't there, presumably without a raging hard-on, she talked to her mom and was like, the fuck? And mom was like, yeah, we've done that a couple times with this clothes, and this clothes, but we've always cleaned it and all of that. And the girl was like, that's not the point. That what? No. So apparently she's living with a friend's parents right now.
Okay, do you happen to know what state this took place in? Because this feels like a New Jersey thing. An Alabama thing.
Why is it that New Jersey and Alabama are the worst states, though? They are the worst, especially with the cops in this Miss Marvel episode, which we'll get to. Good God. Fucking, they saw brown and they wanted to see red. Those guys were fucking blasting, but we'll get to that. No, it did not say what state that she lived in. I would make an educated guess. Alabama.
And this is a true story. You're just...
I mean, as true as you're willing to believe on the internet. But you know what? When you get radical situations like that, I think the more radical and detailedly traumatizing it is, the more genuine I typically think it is.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty messed up. That's a weird thing to bring up on this show, but we talk about all kinds of stuff on this show, just like we're going to be talking about. What are we going to be talking about? Miss Marvel, Thor, I already mentioned that, but there's a lot going on this week that I wanted to get to.
GameStop's on the rise again. Go invest in GME for about 2 weeks and then dump that shit at the beginning of August.
I am not gonna get on the GameStop.
No, don't do it. Don't do it.
Don't do that. But yeah, there's a lot going on. Like we have the Emmy noms. We have Ryan Gosling saying he would like to be Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
And also Alden Ehrenreich is the latest to be cast in Ironheart.
Yeah, Alden. That's an interesting casting. I do want to talk about that. I don't so much want to cover Gosling because I won't lie. It's a little bit of that actor says he wants to act headline, like
Sure.
person who works wants to work more. Yeah, but that'd be interesting. Gosling as Ghost Rider. But I do want to. We got Corgo from Danny _K2286. Thank you, Danny _K2286. We've got 2 unis as well. Thank you for the unis.
We gotta set like a limit on when we shout people out. Like that's 4 cents right there.
Yeah, that's too many times. Go back to Jersey and blast a brown person, you animal. We see what you guys did.
Jesus Christ.
We see what you did. Cheer
okay, so that's 6 cents. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Danny, for the nickel and the penny. Anyway, what were we just talking about? Not Gosling.
You think we're bringing in more money than Megs is on After Action Report?
Ooh, I don't know.
We got like 8 cents and we've been live for like 6.5 minutes.
It's true. Depends. That raid train the other day, I think, may have put us over.
I think so. I think we're doing a good job here.
So Alden Ehrenreich and Ironheart. What kind of character do you think we're playing? Because they didn't say what was casted as.
So I'll be honest, I am not super familiar with Riri Williams. Like I like the character, but I don't know too much about the world around her and the supporting characters and all that.
Yeah.
I don't have no idea who this could be. Could this be the villain of the story? Because I think he'd be a pretty interesting villain to have.
Yeah, I think that I kind of hope that he plays a villain character with it because I think we got to see enough of a play it by their bootstraps kind of hero with him in Solo. So I think it'd be interesting to see him play a villain. In the Riri-verse sounds like I'm making fun of it. In Ironheart's verse, as far as I can recall, because I only remember reading kind of like the first run, and it's been a minute since it came out. But I do know there's some corporate guys involved and stuff like that. So unless they try to, although Tony Stark's pretty heavy in that storyline at a certain point, so I wonder if they try to sub him out for like being like a maybe not a bad guy, but like a Stark executive or like somebody who comes and expresses interest in her, like he's like a scout character. That kind of is just like, let me bring you into the tech world. And then like, maybe at the end he turns out to be like, kind of evil or something. But
yeah, I think that'd be really interesting. I think he can nail a corpo type role.
Yeah.
Danny said, who's Corpo from the Cyberpunk. Danny says, who is Iron Lad? That is Iron Man as a child.
Yes.
Different character though.
Different character.
Thank you for the B-Day ones.
Yeah, thank you for 2 B-Days. For whatever reason, the way I said that sounds like we're getting the butthole washers, not necessarily like birthday. I was saying B-Day, as if I was being a Southerner saying bidet. Get it?
Yeah, no, I got it. I just didn't. Get it? That wasn't where my mind went. I was thinking birthday because on Twitch they're cupcakes. You can't see that.
Be right back.
Okay. So it's just me here. Gonna be talking about some stuff. He doesn't want to talk about the Ghost Rider stuff, so I'll touch on it a little bit. I think it's very interesting. I think that Ryan Gosling would make a great Ghost Rider. Now the question is, which Ghost Rider are we gonna get? Because I think he can do a really good Johnny Blaze, but Danny Ketch is right there, and I think that would be a better role for him. I would really like to see Robbie Reyes back from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I know no one watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but for those of us who did, at least that season, Robbie Reyes was phenomenal. Like, get Gabriel Luna back because he deserves to be on the big screen as Ghost Rider. So it'd be pretty interesting to see. I don't know if Ghost Rider's in their plans. Hey, Dylan, you're back.
Hey,
Here's all puffy.
I brought Hannah. So, Nat, really quick. Well, Griffin.
Yes.
while we got her, can we put up a Hannah just got a haircut banner?
Oh, it's
Yeah.
not fixed.
Hold on.
It's just trimmed.
Hold on. You'll know. Now you can go. Go on.
I just got it like trimmed. I'm growing it out, so I just got it trimmed.
Can you tell now?
Yeah, it looks good.
Thank you, but it's like crazy today because Has Dylan told you about our big life change?
Yeah, I'm gay now.
That's
That's a bad joke, but there's nothing wrong with that. And if I was,
Can you tell by looking around?
Can you guess what's missing from this background, guys?
Is it all your stuff? Is that it?
It is. That you win. 1 B-Day from Danny _KK22286. Danny, make sure to send one more in because Nat got the question right. Hannah, any other thoughts about your haircut? More of a trim.
No, it's a lot cuter when I fix it and I've not been like moving our stuff.
Woman says this. Yeah.
It's just really puffy, fluffy, and trying to curl right now.
Puffy, fluffy. Thank you, Nat. That's more appropriate. Or was it really? It was more of a cut, or was it more of a trim?
It was a trim.
Okay. PJ salt. I don't know what the fuck a PJ salt is, Danny. I don't. What is? Hold on. Let me go to Twitch really quick. I need to see what that is.
It's a salt shaker.
A salt shaker. Why are you giving us salt? I'm not salty, Danny. Quit. Now I am actually now because you just gave me salt.
Just riveting content here on Twitch
You're
Wednesday.
supposed to give them a B-Day, just one. Thank you for the cute fox.
Look at that.
Anyway,
I don't think that's actually worth anything for us, but thank you.
It's not. It's nothing. It's just emojis. But wow, on Twitch they're way cooler though. I just saw that they're dancing.
Yeah, they dance.
That's neat. Anyway, Hannah, you got any closing thoughts before you go to the new home?
Look at this. Look at this, baby.
Yeah. Griffin, thoughts?
Oh.
Yep. Like the mic didn't like it, did you?
It shocked him.
Yeah, it shocked him because that's what happens when you lick a fucking live mic, Griffin. God, you amateur. I love you. Griff, give me kisses.
He's like, no.
Give me kisses.
I learned my lesson about kisses.
Give me kisses.
He learned his lesson about giving kisses.
Now we shock him. We call it classical conditioning. I think it's really going to catch on. All right. Anyway, get off my show. We need to talk about Chloe Bennett's thick rear end.
Okay.
And secret base.
Anyway, I'm gonna
Does not remotely care.
load up my car.
Okay. Yeah, you gonna load up that trunk?
Yeah.
Just like Chloe Bennett's trunk, live on T-Dubs. We're talking about, I don't know.
We're talking about some stuff. Will Chloe Bennett appear in Secret Invasion? I hope so, man. I hope so.
She won't.
Dylan always like this negative Nancy always throwing out the predictions that are completely wrong. Like we'll get to in Thor.
I think it would be cool if she did, but I'm 95% sure that she won't.
I would take that bet. I think she will. Maybe not in Secret Wars, Secret Invasion, but in some kind of MCU thing in the future.
Yeah. Well. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of want to see her on that CW Powerpuff Girls show that hasn't came out yet.
Isn't that canned?
I hope it isn't.
I think it's canceled for good.
I mean, all the cast left, so.
That's true. All the crew left too.
All right, now that our numbers are to its usual 4 or 5, let's actually start talking about some shit, Nat. I want to talk about Miss Marvel before we get into Thor, Love, and Thunder.
Hang on a second. I was just looking up Powerpuff Girls. Let me get the banner ready.
All right, fine.
You want to talk about Miss Marvel or Thor first? Because Thor came out before Miss Marvel, so I feel like
Thor came out first, but it's the one I feel like I want to talk the most about. So let's do Miss Marvel.
Okay, sure. So, what did you think about the Miss Marvel finale and Miss Marvel as a series as a whole?
So the finale, short and sweet, I would say, is it's good. It's better than fine, but man, they erased some things on this one. We start the episode with the family super cool with Kamala going to superhero all of a sudden.
Yeah. I actually have some thoughts about that, but
Yeah.
you going.
We have Zoe, or whatever the fuck that ginger girl's name is, just appearing to help out on a Saturday at the high school during a pseudo-terrorist situation by the public standards belief. So that's a little less explainable. Kamran keeps playing at trying to be a killer villain and then not, and then again, but then not. And then we're just gonna go ahead and let him go. And like, I get it, a lot of it is self-defense, but there's a couple times it looked like he was winding up to kill because he just wanted to, which does not say that he should have been shot at to begin with, and there is a survival situation. But I felt like the consistency of Kamran going from like victim to potentially the villain a couple of times in this episode, it felt like they just did not know what to do with this character. Also, they aren't really explaining the fact that his mom ghosted energy into him. So that's kind of like a weird left unchecked thing that we're just like, oh, Kamran got powers because his mom died and all the other clandestine died. And the short and brief goods. Kamala gets her superhero episode where she finally owns that she's a superhero, and she got much better at her powers at a rate that is almost a little alarming. But the best part about this whole episode was the fact that Bruno is sitting there and talking to Kamala, and he's like, yeah, I don't know, you're probably a mutant or something. And then you hear a little very quick.
Did you like that? Did you like that tape?
Fucking loved it. You know what? Hell yeah. I love that. She's a mutant, and they played a 90s theme song. I just said that, Danny. Are you even fucking listening? Get out of the chat.
This is what Danny does. Like, he kind of like repeats things that people say so like, oh yeah, you have a good point, Danny. I just said that.
Yeah, we know. Danny. I know. I watched the episode and I just said it. I know. Thank you, Danny. 1 B-day, please, for your ignorance.
There's still no B-day. I still have it.
Still no B-day for that. This guy's butthole needs to be cleaned, Danny. Give him 1 B-day.
That's not what that's for. But he does bring up a good point when he says Zoe was making TikTok videos because the theater has good lighting.
I know what she said, but it's a stupid reason.
Why are you questioning it?
Because she's there on a Saturday. And also, how the fuck did she get in there? Sure, Kamala's brother knows how to get in through a fucking bathroom window. And they have superpowers. But how the fuck did she get in there? There's a situation with Zoe. Is she sleeping with the teacher to get access to the high school so she can go hang out at there and do TikToks and the fucking drama thing?
Listen, bro, it's Jersey. You can do whatever you want. You can go wherever you want. Nothing's locked.
Actually, that is a fun implication. In New Jersey, everybody knows how to break into something.
Yeah.
So Jersey has truly
finally gives us the B-Day one and the party one.
Thank you.
I didn't ask for the party, but I'll take it anyway.
Yeah, if you could just not give us the party, we were just wanting the bidet. Danny, do you not hear me? Are you listening? Just the one bidet is what I asked for, and you gave us a party? Jesus fucking Christ, dude.
That's how I entered my high school, too. I didn't know that they had high school education in Jersey. So
I thought you just grew up and you crawled out of the sewer, and then you just went to the beach or whatever. I thought that's how that worked.
We got to stop making fun of New Jersey.
He hates it, too. He's thriving in this. Danny, I love you. Anyway,
yeah. So the episode, I didn't get a chance to talk about last episode, but I like that as well. But this episode, I feel like they really, really stuck the finale because one of my biggest fears was for one, I mentioned last week the villain situation, which they didn't really address too well. But maybe it doesn't need a villain. Like I've come around on it. Number 2 is kind of tied to the villain situation, where I was really worried that it was going to be a mirror matchup with her fighting someone with her exact powers, but just a different color, a la Black Panther, a la a bunch of different MCU projects. So I'm glad that we kind of got that a little bit, but not really, because they weren't like actually fighting each other. So I do commend them on that. It looked great, like the whole like power showcase of Kamran and Kamala. I thought it looked beautiful. That's where all the budget went, not the She-Hulk show.
Or She-Hulk died for Miss Marvel.
yeah, or Moon Knight. They took budget from Moon Knight and She-Hulk.
That's true. Yeah, Marvel killed both of these shows' CG budget.
But no, I really thought it was good. I thought this is really unlike any Disney Plus Marvel show we've done so far, because it's like it takes on a perspective that we don't really see a lot. I think one aspect of that is showing a happy family that parents don't have to die for you to have like a superhero origin story. I think it's super refreshing, super cool to see that Kamala has a loving family, a good support group with her friends. It's just a feel good show, and so my thoughts on the whole. The parents just suddenly becoming super supportive of her being a superhero, when in the other 5 episodes they were like overprotective helicopter parents who wouldn't hesitate to put a chip in her head to track her location. Now all of a sudden the mom like gives her a full-blown superhero costume, and it's like that doesn't really track with who she is as a character. But I'm glad we got there, because like we had to get there at some point, and it's cool. It's a cool costume. Did you like when her mom made the costume and dad came up with their superhero name? I just mentioned that, Danny. Try to keep up, all right? That's literally what I just said. But yeah, the dad coming up, the superhero name I don't mind too much, because I thought that was a really, really sweet moment. I don't know if Kamal actually means Marvel in Urdu, but I hope it does, because that was a super sweet moment.
Yeah. I'll follow up on that too. That I do think that her parents kind of giving her the name is nice and all. But yeah, exactly to my point earlier is like, is it annoying that it's not character consistent? Yes. Am I kind of just glad that we're there? Also, yes. Though when we got there, I was like, this doesn't make any fucking sense. But all right, I don't hate it. I like it better than helicopter parents, because that's just like the mom. I've got superpowers. I want to go super do shit or whatever I do. I don't know. Also, she said a famous catchphrase. I haven't read the comics. Cool. So, fucking nerd. Read the comic.
What's her famous catchphrase?
Yeah. Well, the damage control and the police in New Jersey's was brown person fire, or whatever they said at the high school. But
I like. Okay, speaking of damage control, I really like that they try to play this whole episode like, oh, use non-lethal rounds, keep them alive. The last episode, you really blew up the shop.
yeah,
if Kamran didn't use his powers, Bruno and Kamran would be dead.
Right. Also, they're the ones that blew up the shop, and then they're like, fucking kids, they blew up the shop, and we're like, you blew it up. What do you mean? And I think that's like maybe an undertone that, one, they're not taking responsibility, but two, they're building a narrative that, because the chick in Damage Control, who's suddenly the main antagonist of the show, looks like she's just like, they're brown, they're going down, I guess. I don't know. She never says that, but if she did, you wouldn't have batted an eye at it. And anyway, so that whole scene happens. I thought it was actually getting pretty racy towards the tail end when they started using live ammunition, though. I was like, whoa, we're actually shooting bullets at kids who could definitely still die. Just because they have superpowers, they did not get like that invulnerability. I think like Kamala would definitely just take a bullet and die. Like still, unless she's like armored up, right? So
yeah, she's not Luke Cage. Like her skin isn't like unstoppable.
This child, yeah. So on one hand, for a feel-good show to be blasting at children, bold move, Disney Plus. All right, after living in America, bold move at any point, really, for us.
Mm-hmm.
On the flip side of that, they had to be brown and they had to be Middle Eastern, which is more of a social criticism that it's more realistic in America that this actually plays exactly like this because they're Middle Eastern more than anything. They come from Pakistan, so yeah, the cops probably would do this. Her famous catchphrase is, "Get in, loser. We are getting a shawarma." That's what her friend says, Danny.
The fuck are you talking about?
What are you?
Go time yourself out, Danny. I'm not logged in into Twitch account, but so I can't do it. Go time yourself out.
I actually don't know how to time Danny out from this account. Can I? Hold on. No, I can just reply to him. Danny, you're lucky. today you don't get timed out on Twitch. Anyway, overall, the past 2 episodes, I will say this has been the best Miss Marvel episode, which it breaks the trend because I thought, it's always...
You think so, really? You think the finale is the best episode?
Yeah. While I think that the Red Dagger is like a pretty cool concept and them running around Pakistan was definitely sweet, this just felt like a good conclusive episode that left us in the feel goods, that just was like, all right, cool, gives us our little, we're going to tag in Brie Larson for the post credit because we have to plug the new movie, which we didn't even talk about, but there's not shit to talk about. Kamala spaced her fingers and then got warped into where Brie Larson is. So.
I really am curious to see where she warped, because just Brie Larson, Captain Marvel's reaction is like, oh no, I'm teleported into this room of someone who idolizes me.
Right.
I don't think that's the appropriate response unless she's like in the middle of some big battle.
Right. There's like sandworms in Dune, and then you just got Kamala like screaming somewhere.
Yeah, I think that's how it's gonna go in the Marvels.
Yeah. So that'll be kind of fun to watch and tune into. But
yeah, Danny, with the B-Day 1, you're forgiven for all your transgressions. What was I gonna say? Yeah, I mean, I don't think it was the best episode of the series. I still think that's episode 1 because it had a really strong start. But I think this is a really strong finish. It's one of the stronger finales in the MCU Disney Plus shows. I'm really kind of missing how the first 2 episodes had that kind of like Edgar Light kind of like pop up text. The aesthetic, yeah. I felt like they kind of lost it throughout the rest of the episodes. And I think a big part of that, I originally thought that a big part of that was because they got different directors to direct all the other episodes, but they got him back for the finale. So I was expecting that to be back, but
we did get a little bit about that whenever they're doing the chalkboard stuff. So.
Oh yeah, I guess so. But I would have liked to see more of that because that really helped it stand out.
Yeah, no, I agree. I recently watched Baby Driver, and I just remembered that about Miss Marvel, where I was like, the aesthetic, where did all that go? That was fun, and I get a different directors, different visions, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like that could have been a great through line for like the show's like visual aspects.
Also, I didn't get to talk about last week's episode, but I would fucking die for Aisha. I would die for.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah, Aisha's fire. I didn't get a chance to say enough, but Kamran's mom, whose name I'm forgetting right now.
Najma. Thank
you. That actress is a fantastic villain.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah, I think if anything, she's underrated. Danny says it felt rushed at the end and no villains. The Home Alone school chase was silly. I'm okay with the Home Alone school thing because it felt like the most American thing with,
Yeah.
Actually,
and I mean, they're teenagers, so that's like that's kind of expected from them.
Yeah, in any place but Uvalde, Texas. Well, the police officers run in to go actually do anything useful.
That's a good point, Title. All together, the real world events.
We're back.
I did really like that you used science to beat damage control.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of which, like I really like the Spider-Man parallel with the science stuff, but also like that scene where the community protects her. That is so reminiscent of the Miles Morales game and the end of that game, in which if you didn't know, like everyone in Brooklyn stands up for Miles saying like, this is our Spider-Man. It kind of felt like that. And I'm a sucker for those moments. So I'm really, if only it was in New Jersey as the community standing up for
right.
That would be great. Will McLean, welcome to the chat. He says the feds are the villains. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily. They are the villains, but
it's only at the ends, right? They're only the villains at the beginning of the show, and they're only the villains at the end of the show, and that's kind of the problem, right? We don't have.
They weren't very well set up, is the thing, because first it was the Jinn, and then it was kind of Kamran, and then it was the feds. So there wasn't really a strong villain in this story, but I don't think it needed it. I think the focus should have been Kamala and her friends and her family, and it was. So I think it worked out.
What if next season Kamala has to fight like the Taliban? Like, what if they just keep pushing the American political narrative of this, and she is actually just fighting like terrorists?
Do you think there's a better chance of that happening, or Chloe Bennett being Secret Invasion?
Honestly, I think that Kamala, at least in the Miss Marvel show or movie, them dealing with rogue agents that happen to be Pakistani, Middle Eastern, or something of that nature.
Yeah, that'd be.
There's a better chance of that than Coley Bennett being in Secret Invasion.
I hope you're wrong. I hope you're wrong about that.
I hope I'm wrong too.
But before I forget, you had touched on the whole mutant thing. Man, Kevin Feige hates those Inhumans. Huh?
Yeah, Kevin Feige is like, we'll give you Black Bolt, but I'm not happy about it.
Yeah, no. I was fully expecting him to be like, there's something in your DNA. It's like inhuman. And
Right, like, just say the fucking thing, right? If you're going to make her a mutant, oh man. Top 5 Marvel portrayals.
I don't know if I like her being a mutant because, like,
no,
that's double jeopardy with him her being a Pakistani American. Like,
Yeah.
how targeted from the people can you get? Like, how hated from people can you get?
I kind of love that she even says it would just be another label. And I'm like, dude, you're right. It would just be another fucking label. Like,
yeah. But I don't know. I thought the theme song playing was fire. Like, obviously,
yeah, a little quick theme, fucking dope. She might not be an X-Men though. Danny, what the fuck else would they do with her? They'd make her an X-Men. She's Wolverine. Right? I said it. She's the next Wolverine. Before we transition into our next segment, are we done with Miss Marvel? I think.
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay, can we unplug this? So remember how I told you guys to keep tuning in to Schmodown? I forgot to mention last week. This is what happened. I came in. They said, "All right, you're finally here. Cancel the show."
You got me. I'm not gonna lie. That fucking got me. Fucking cancel the fucking show.
I'm sorry, guys.
Oh.
This is a heartfelt apology from me to you. I went to LA. I got into their studio. They said, "Congratulations.
Just pack it up. Go home."
Pull the plug, guys. Christian said, "Good job, Dylan. Pull it."
This is done.
And then they did. And they said, "All right. Well, see y'all October 1st. That's it. Fuck you, Ben. You don't get a match anymore." And they walked off.
Yeah. Your invitation to No Chill has expired. It's done.
Yeah. Which sucks because I would have loved to No Chill him at his concert. But I can't.
Oh, yeah. That sucks.
That one does suck.
Oh.
Will says, "So it's your fault. Good to know." Yeah, well, let them know. I want them to know that I did it.
I want them to know. Tell Cersei I did it.
Tell Cersei I did it. It's not necessarily my fault, but it is. So I told you guys for a long time, keep tuning in because it's going to be the last time they're pulling the plug. But I couldn't say it until after they announced it because the NDA they had me signed. So.
Danny says, "What is this? A cat? A cat yawning?"
That's opening and closing its mouth fiercely. Danny.
That's dynamite input, Danny.
Yeah. Thank you, Danny.
Thank you for contributing to the show.
Stick to the money, Danny. Anyway, let's talk about Thor: Love and Thunder. Boom. Matt, I'm going to let you lead on this one. What were your thoughts on it?
Oh, okay. You want to let me lead? So I don't think I'm as high on this as you are. I don't know where you fall, but you said it was pretty good. And I think it's pretty good. But I didn't lead with that because I feel like, to me, this was my most anticipated MCU project outside of No Way Home for like the past few years. I think it was good. I think it was pretty good. Let me just start off there. Let's start with the positive. But I really was hoping it'd be better. I was really because I feel like they could have added like 20 minutes onto it, and I would have liked it a lot more. I didn't like that they kind of combined the Thor God of Thunder's Thor arc from the comics and also the Mighty Thor. I think those should have been two separate stories to give both room to shine. And to be fair, they did give Natalie Portman's Jane Foster room to shine. But in doing that, they kind of took away from Gore. Not just Gore, but also his butchering. Who the fuck did he kill in this movie? He killed the one god in the beginning of the movie. And that was it. That was pretty much it. We should have seen more from the God Butcher. So I'm disappointed there, but nothing about this movie I would say is terrible. I would say some stuff didn't land. Like the humor, I feel like I'm usually a sucker for Taika's style of humor. Like in Ragnarok, I laughed like probably 80% of the jokes that he made. In this one, I feel like a lot of it just didn't land for me. I will say the fucking screaming goats
Yeah.
got me every fucking time.
There
That
wasn't
was
a single time they weren't screaming that I was not laughing. Like,
no, like before this movie even came out, I would say screaming goats, earth goats are probably in my top 5 funniest things of all time. To have screaming space goats in this movie, I loved it. That news article that I read last week about how
oh yeah, Taika was doing it so James Gunn could have them in the
yeah,
verse.
I was super confused why the ghosts didn't go with the Guardians. Like,
Right.
I mean, I'm fine with them. I'm glad they got more airtime in their movie. Shout out to William Harold who sat in front of me in the movie, didn't notice me, and didn't notice me until the movie ended.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was good. I like I said, nothing was terrible, but I wish they had more of what I wanted to see. Because like the good parts they did really good. I thought the emotional aspect between Jane and Thor's relationship. I feel like people don't talk about their chemistry enough, but they have so much chemistry.
yeah.
Like it is easily the best part of the first 2 Thor movies, and I'm so happy they brought her back. Yeah, I mean, it was good. I I don't know what else to add. I thought it was just good, and that is kind of a disappointment to me because I was expecting better.
So I'm gonna ride that sentiment just a smidge. I'm a little warmer on it than you, but I was left wanting more. But I knew going in. Hey, Drew. Hey,
Drew.
I knew going in. See, Will is like pretty average, 2.5 out of 5.
I would have gone that far. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5, which is good.
I still give it a 4 out of 5. So here's my grief, right? The movie could have been too long, or the movie was going to be too short. Very rarely is a movie just perfectly run timed. So this one did leave me wanting more, which is unfortunate. And I agree with you in all your points. I think definitely I really wish that we didn't do as much of Jane's storyline. But Jane really did get through a start to finish arc. Thor, definitely felt like he got an arc in this as well. Still, I just wanted more gore. I wanted more butchering. I wanted more. I'm with you on that. Although when Thor and the Guardians are looking at the little beeps, the little like blips of like things that they're like needing help for. When they're showing the God Butcher stuff, they do show a couple scenes that are from the comics.
Yeah.
Because of course we always notice that. And it's like the gods like hanging and that they're butchered, but I wanted to see that shit on fucking screen. I wanted more beheading. I wanted more of this. I wanted this movie to go really heavy on that. I wanted to see all of fucking the God realm butchered. Like that whole, what is it? Omni potency, whatever. The God, yeah, the omnipotency. That place. I just wanted more butchery. Thank you. So I was left wanting more. However, none of the things that we got were particularly bad, and that's where I keep this movie pretty high, right? So
yeah,
the humor landed for me throughout the entire thing. I think most of the jokes and the random bits left. The dumpling god is maybe one of my second favorite fucking thing in this movie behind the goats, though. Like, good golly, my grin and laugh on that. If anything, Hannah, who watched it with me, was like, they underused it. Like, I kind of wish they, like, during the orgy talks, they would keep queuing to, like, the dumpling god, and, like, he would keep smiling, and then we'd just be like, but why is, and Hannah was like, but you would be asking yourself, why is he smiling? He's a dumpling, like, so I think, if anything, that they underutilized some of the humor that they could have done. So, again, it's a good movie altogether, but it is just kind of left wanting more. That being said, I do love that pretty much everybody's kids got to be in this movie. So I was reading up, and it was like, Chris Hemsworth's son, who is running as young baby or young kid Thor early on.
Both sons.
Right.
Yeah.
And then his daughter is actually the one who gets to be Love at the end, who is Gore's daughter in the movie. So Natalie Portman's kids, Taika's kids, Christian Bale's kids all got to be like captured kids on set. So I thought that was all sweet, and I do love the aesthetic of the music video action scenes that they've been doing. So like the Guns N' Roses one this time, I thought landed pretty well. Harold says, I could have gone for a Don't Cry music video, You Could Be Mine, or a Bad Obsession video to gore butchering a bunch of gods. Dude, give me an extended cut of this film, and it's like, honestly, here's 5 minutes that would put my score up a whole another point. Thor, or like Gore showing up to that realm and butchering half of them. But it wouldn't make sense narratively because he's supposed to be ahead of the curve instead of behind the curve, which I think is kind of like the frustrating part. The other thing I feel like is actually underrated in this is that the ending doesn't do what you think it's going to do. By the end, we have this omnipotent. Which celestial thing is it at the end?
It was something with the it was eternity.
Eternity, thank you. Yeah.
Okay.
So we have Gore at the face of eternity. Instead of choosing to butcher all the gods, it felt like they were teeing it up to just cure Jane of cancer, right? And he's like, no, fuck that.
Oh, did you think that's where they were going?
I 100% thought that. I thought at first I was like, it sucks. I feel like they're going to cop out and she's going to get cured here.
I think I kind of knew that he was going to bring back his daughter. Like that, I did see that coming.
So he brings back the daughter, which I think is like not a bad move because they're like, I like that Jane's like, she won't be alone. I mean, I'm going to die and you're going to definitely die, but Thor's going to be here. So he'll figure it out. Like, like it's very teed up to be like, okay, you guys are like going to parent them. Also,
Danny, I just fucking said that. You try to keep up.
Danny? So, also, if he's there and he gets to get a wish, I guess he just kind of gets his daughter back in. But why couldn't it be like, can you also make sure I don't die as well?
You did just say that. Thank you, Sir Drew.
Jane already did an only one movie as Mighty Thor. I actually love it because now she's in Valhalla. I don't know what that leaves for her in the wiggle room, but I think that's a hell of a playground to be playing in.
I think she's done. I think that was just a feel-good send-off to her character.
You think?
Yeah, I don't think... Oh, Jesse Swift in the chat. What's up?
Jesse Swift. Jesse, what do you think about this fucking ending? I want to get your thoughts on this.
I know. I saw on Twitter that Jesse's a big Phase 4 fan. Like, he's like most of Phase 4, so I think he's pretty high on this movie. I will say... So, the Valhalla scene, I don't think it was, like, what's next. I think that's just the afterlife, and that's it for her character. I don't know if I see Natalie Portman returning or Idris Elba, to be fair.
I do think it will be bold for both of them to return, and I do think it's a little less likely. But if you told me that they're going to make a movie with just Jane as Mighty Thor and Valhalla, I don't know what the fucking conflict is for that. But I like it as I like it as a concept as a whole still. Like, I think that's like a hell of a playground for opportunity that could create new stories. Although death becomes kind of a strange concept. You'd have to introduce death by something else now, which you already did, so it gets a little weird. Also, Sif's arm not being in Valhalla was...
I was just going to bring that up. That was such a missed opportunity. Like, I would have loved to see Sif's arm just float in the background or something.
Yeah.
I'm glad that Sif is back. I wish he had a bigger role because she is so underutilized.
Yeah.
But that was so funny. Let me die. I just died in battle. Like, actually, you survived, so you're probably not going to Valhalla. She's like, what? Oh, shit.
What? Yeah.
So funny, dude. Great scene.
Yeah. Valhalla was a realm. Open it up for transportation. DBZ did it with King Kai and Goku. I agree. Listen, fucking give me the big long dragon trail, and then you have like Jane flying across that, and then she fights Goku. Because Disney's going to buy Dragon Ball, because why not?
Why not, right? That is a good point. I mean, I guess they could go that route. I just personally don't see that happening. And speaking of failed predictions, fucking Dylan over here saying Valkyrie was going to die. And when Gore stabbed her in the back, I was like, oh no, was Dylan right? Are they going to kill her?
I was this right. I was this much right. They were queuing it up. Also, not enough Tessa Thompson. I think Danny or Harold or somebody mentioned earlier. And you're right. The first comments that me, Nat, and Kelsey had after watching this movie, we need more Tessa Thompson.
Will McLean says not enough Tessa Thompson.
Will, okay. Couldn't remember who it was.
I think someone else mentioned that the Tessa Thompson sword licking scene was cut out, which kind of bullshit. That would have been the best part of the movie.
Good movie. That could be a great movie. I wanted more of it, though. is pretty much my short and sweet point. Now, William says, Jane training with King Kai, just take my money. Fucking right. give me Kaioken Mighty Thor. And then she battles against. Now, here's an interesting concept. Okay, here's my pitch. For whatever reason, Valhalla is tied to let's just say that, yes, it is a realm, but it's only tied to afterlife realms. So now it gives room for all of the underused.
Oh, did we just get rated?
Did we get rated? I don't know.
Captain Hopper again with the party of 3. Thank you so much.
Hopper! Welcome, dude. 11th Thunder could have used a bit more butchering. John, we could not agree more with you.
Dude, that's exactly what I said. He's the god butcher. We saw him kill one god on like actual screen.
Yeah, not so much a god of butcher in this one, so much as a god like weed remover, god gardener, so to speak. But so here's my pitch, right? Valhalla, yes, it is a realm, as Jesse mentions, but let's not open it up to like the living. It's only tied to the already deceased realms, right? So we have all forms of heaven. So let's just go ahead and roll in some little God of War aspects from the video game, where you can have crossovers of like deceased characters and making tournaments and stuff, because this is Dragon Ball, so it has to be a tournament. But more importantly than that, we use this as an opportunity to use underutilized characters from otherwise bad movies that could have had sweet runs. Malkeith from Dark World, Dark World.
The Warrior 3. Bring back the Warrior 3, dude. Come on.
Yes, dude. The fucking War of 3 arcs in Thor is so sick with the giant like races and all that one going in. We just do this in the afterlife. I don't know how you imply like the whole death concept or things like that, but make it happen so that death can happen after death. And you have a fucking sick arc to sit there and run with Jane. If they're like, Natalie, we need one more movie from you. And they're like, okay. And then we're going to give you the villain from the worst Marvel movie ever, but we're going to make them really cool now. And they're going to get the due diligence that they should have gotten in their movie.
Yeah.
Also,
the
Hercules.
Fake out for killing me. Korg and Valkyrie. Don't forget Zeus. Like that was also a fake out until the end credit scene, which we are gonna obviously talk about. Freaking Roy Kent as Hercules. Come on, are you kidding me? Like I had heard about these rumors before I saw the movie, so I was a little bit spoiled, but I was still very surprised that because they name dropped Hercules in the movie, but they didn't show him. So I was like, oh my god, where's Hercules? Where's my man? And then he showed up looking so good. His costume, comic book accurate as can be. I can't wait. And for them to be setting up that he's the focus of the next Thor movie, I just give it to me.
Yeah. Hercules, hella fucking sick. I knew Hercules wasn't going to be a movie. I know. How wild would it have been if we got a Hercules movie? He's just fucking banging bitches and fucking clobbering things. Like, I think what would be even wilder is like we find out that like Hela has been alive all along, because that's always been a little loose end that they kind of have with her blipping into green at the end of Ragnarok, and then we just find out that like Hercules finds her, beats the shit out of her or something like that, because that's how you show power, right? You just take the prior antagonist who the hero struggled with, and then you just have the new guy fucking pound her.
That's the classic wrestling trope where you have like someone who like built up to like this big bad heel or baby face, and then someone else comes in and beats them. They're the new challenger for the title. I think that would have been like a really good thing to see, and I would have loved if Gore killed Hela in this movie.
Yes,
that would have been so good. And instead, they didn't do any of that, which was disappointing because Christian Bale did a phenomenal job. Like, I don't want to take anything away from him. With what he was given, he knocked it out of the park. Like that scene with the kids was so creepy. Also, hashtag Team Kids in a Cage. fucking amazing line. But yeah, I mean, everyone, like I said, nothing in this movie was bad. Like everything, I just wanted more, is what I'm saying. I wish they had doubled down on some certain stuff, gave certain characters more screen time, and this could have been an all-time classic for me.
Mm-hmm. John asked, did they ever explain what cancer Jane has or how she even got it? No.
Stage 4 cancer.
Yes, stage 4. But I think that I would just make the bold assumption that the amount of space radiation that she exposes herself to before we ever got there is probably our hint on why she got cancer. In fact,
that definitely did not help.
Kat should probably go get herself checked out. They were dealing with the fucking Power Stone for like a while. That just looks like it give you cancer. So that's my educated guess on where the cancer came from. I think Hercules would be good to turn into a movie at some point. Yeah, I mean, I think that they'll do something interesting with him. I wonder.
That's what, if you go to our earlier episodes, that's what we thought was going to happen when we
Right.
reacted to the trailer. Like we thought that at least I thought that Gore was going to come in and kill the Greek gods, and then except for Hercules, and he's going to like team up with Thor. But I kind of like where they're headed with this. I would have preferred if he killed more gods, obviously, but I like this direction they're going.
I do kind of want to see the implications of if Hercules is going to be here. What else can they do with him as an antagonist, right? Like, can we start to form more of that? Can we start to make like a God Suicide Squad? Like, can we do like a God Thunderbolt thing? Like, I think that'd be neat. Although they're just going to give Hercules room to run for it. I know it's not canon in the Marvel's version of Hercules, but bring out Hades now. Even though I know we have like Hela typically being the god of the underworld and doing all that, bring fucking Hades now. Why not? Let's get crazy. Let's get Disney with it. Let's just start making this the Kingdom Hearts of God realms at this point. As Guardian men don't carry STDs, they give you stage 4 cancer. That's probably right. Yeah. To be fair, even though they are both humanoids, let's own right away. I don't know if Asgardians are technically considered the same species as Earth humans.
I don't think they are. I think they're just like you said, they're humanoids, but they're aliens from way far away from Earth.
Yeah, so there's nothing to be said that some of that genetic juice could be cancerous. You got some God juice, and you're only a human woman. Oof, you're gonna have a bad time.
It's like a Moonfall situation. Spoilers for the movie Moonfall 2022, but like in that movie, like the aliens are actually humans from they're actually ancestors of ours, and they just like society was so far advanced that they traveled through space, and then they developed their own civilization, and now they're the aliens. Maybe that's what happened there, but that doesn't make sense because like Asgardians are super strong, so that doesn't make sense. Throw that theory out the window.
I don't know if you're describing Moonfall, if you're describing the last act of Interstellar, but I love this description. So,
am I thinking of? Oh my gosh, Moonfall just ripped off Interstellar.
Yeah,
also, speaking of Interstellar, that one Interstellar line, I was the only one in the theater laughing at that.
Audibly, me and Hannah both were fucking dying at that line because we genuinely, we've gotten to the point now where we actually really like Interstellar, even though we understand that like the last.
I love Interstellar,
dude. I do too. But like the fact that Jane was just like explaining it, like she's just explaining Interstellar's concepts, and she's like, "Yeah, just watch Interstellar. They explained it really well." Audible laughter from us, and nobody else found it that funny. And I'm like, "You guys don't fucking watch movies. That's hilarious."
Yeah,
that is a movie. Yeah. That is a movie fan. Ghost Rider.
So like, speaking of things that we love about this movie, we reacted to, in the movie when Daryl showed up, like the girl behind me was like, "Oh my god, it's Daryl," and then her boyfriend was like, "Who?" And she's like, "She was one of the." Never mind. I was like, "Oh my gosh, am I about to try to steal someone's girl right now?" Because like,
yeah,
for her to know Daryl, I was like, "Dude,
right.
the little like Easter eggs for us, like big fans." Like the MCU does that so well, and yeah, I mean, I love that Daryl is canon.
Mm. What I am surprised to see is that we actually didn't get Beta Ray Bill.
Yes, dude. Oh my gosh, I was gonna bring that up. Why do they keep kind of like teasing Beta Ray Bill, and then he doesn't show up? You can't name the axe Stormbreaker and not have Beta Ray Bill show up at some point. You can't show Stormbreaker getting jealous of Mjolnir and not have Beta Ray Bill showing up, dude. Come on, dude.
Can we come back to saying how fucking funny it was seeing Stormbreaker just come off scene into shot?
It was so funny,
dude.
When Thor shared
humor
that
Stormbreaker. I don't know which humors and jokes didn't land for you, Nat, but like almost everything landed for me in this. Like,
well, okay, they made a lot of jokes that land for me, but it does that thing where they're throwing a lot of jokes at you that the big ones hit, but like there's a lot that didn't. Like, what jokes didn't hit? Let's talk about some more jokes that did hit. Like the Kogan god on the throne with scissors. It was so good. Oh my gosh, this movie's great. This movie's great. 5 out of 5.
See, we're talking it up now. Now you see why I put it at more close to a 4 than a 5. Yeah, Jesse's still entirely right there. 2 MCU movies in a row needed another 15, 20 minutes. Yeah.
What was the last one? Doctor Strange? Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I could have got more Strange. I could have got a lot more of that Strange movie. I could have got a lot more of both of these movies. If you said you have 40 minutes to put into either movie, that's not fair. I would do 40 to Taika just to see what he would do with it. But nah, I would probably go 25-15. I feel like that this Thor Love and Thunder only really needs about 15 more minutes. It only needs 1 or 2 scenes of more God butchering and a little bit more of gore stuff, a little bit more God background. That being said, I think they did a great job of giving us right to the point who the fuck Gore is and why you like, and all you need to know. Although I do kind of wish we got more of a longer stretch in the beginning because they definitely give us a Spark Note version of it compared to like how the comics flesh it out. And I do kind of wish they gave us just a little bit more in that beginning of Gore, like how fucking miserable it is. Because you only see his daughter dying, but I would have loved to see the wife dying and be dragged and it feel like a Dune movie with Gore in it for like the first like 10 minutes or so. And I know they wanted to be very tight at 2 hours, but man, I would have really wanted 2:15. Give me just 6 more minutes of that, and then like the other 12 go to just Gore butchering. And literally, I'd probably give this movie almost a perfect score.
Yeah, no, me too. I think that, like I said in the call to action chat, I would have loved it like if they had just at least 20 more minutes. And I don't care. That whole 20 minutes could have been spent on just Gore butchering gods, some more Guns N' Roses. That would have been like a perfect movie for me.
I did want 3 seconds of Chris Hemsworth's dong in this fucking movie, though. They teased us. They teased us in the commercial trailers, but they actually didn't hang dong. I knew they weren't, but how fucking dare you?
It's a Disney movie, though. They're not gonna show
Chris Hemsworth. Show his penis, you cowards. Show Chris Hemsworth's penis.
Before we get canceled, I mean, well, I forgot my point, but I was gonna say, I don't think. I think I could have gone for more Doctor Strange, but I don't think it needed it as much as Thor did, because I'm usually an advocate for shorter movies, but I don't mind so much when it's the MCU, and I especially think less than 2 hours, an hour 59 this movie was. I think it definitely could have used more. I would have loved, because like when they got to the final fight, I was like, oh no, is this the end? And then when he brings his daughter back, I was like, oh shit, this is actually the end. And that was so disappointing to me. Team Dong, everyone keeps saying.
Team Dong. Fuck yeah, guys. Fuck yeah. Also, I don't know, more Tessa Thompson screen time in any shape or form.
Please. I want 20 more minutes of Gore and then like an hour of Tessa Thompson. Just
I mean, honestly, she is just incredibly attractive. I won't lie. I'm selfishly here for it.
Listen, this is very attractive, but Tessa Thompson has no equal.
It's insane. So anyway, I think that's most of my thoughts on Thor: Love and Thunder. I think the only thing I'm not thinking of, a scene of Jane practicing bowling.
That would have been nice. I would have liked more setup because like it wasn't really a big reveal because we knew from the trailers and everything. So I would have liked her to see her becoming Thor.
Right. Thor. A little bit of buffer time from her going to being a fleshy cancer human to literally like a fight. But that being said, it never felt like that she was so powerful that it was like she was more powerful than Thor or anything like that. It felt like it brought her to like a Valkyrie level. But even when she's fighting against Thor and stuff like that, she still gets clapped around except for her like eat the hammer lines and stuff like that.
I love that they kept Jane the way her character is. Like even with these powers, she's still like the same goofy Jane that we've seen in the first 2 movies. So I really like the consistency there. And I don't think we talked about enough about how creative they were with using the shattered Mjolnir and making it an AoE attack, an EOA attack. AoE. Like it's such a creative way to use that weapon. and it's so good. Like they figure out a way to differentiate her using it with Thor using the hammer. So yeah, really really good. I would like predictions on y'all have for Marvel Comic Con panel next week.
Here's my bold prediction: we will not get a Black Panther trailer, despite it coming out in like 3 months. We ain't getting shit. They don't want us to know nothing. They're just gonna be like, go to the movie. It's out. Figure it out. We had to.
I feel bad for like most of the people on that movie because
do
like
too.
they don't have a good time. Like first, Chadwick obviously passes away tragically, and then Letitia Wright with all her bullshit. So they got to deal with that. I just want this movie to be good because Ryan Coogler is one of my favorite directors, and it's a shame that he got left with this pile of trash that I don't think is going to be good. But I'm hoping it is. Prediction for the I don't know, man. 'Cause I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago they unveiled a bunch of stuff, and we've seen all of that now. We've seen all like I think the last thing they had was Thor: Love and Thunder. We've seen that. So what else could they have next? And also, like I've been thinking about this a lot. I ate an edible and watched Incredible Hulk. So while I was doing that, I was thinking like, how long is the MCU gonna go for? Do you think? Because like they're gonna run out of steam eventually.
Don't you schmo down the MCU, Nat?
I mean, it has me thinking like everything has a shelf life. Yeah, the throwdown just went away with no warning. Oh yes, thank you for bringing that up. Matt Damon and Luke and Sam acting out the MCU.
Yes.
Melissa McCarthy, that Melissa McCarthy reveal, it was so good. I don't know what I was expecting because I was expecting someone big to play Hela. Melissa McCarthy, that is an inspired choice.
That's so solid.
Yeah. For predictions, I think we're gonna get a Fantastic Four reveal. Good, the cast.
It's Thorbin time, says old Mr. Jesse. Jesse, you're gonna be banned from the stream. We're not tolerating that. Get that out of here. A-Bomb or Red Hulk in a show or a movie?
Are we gonna get Red Hulk because like William Hurt just passed away? So
yeah, that kind of hurts our odds on Red Hulk a little bit. But I mean, whatever. They can always. So here's the twist: they recast Red Hulk as Cuba Gooding Jr. They bring him back from being Rhodey to just being Red Hulk. X-Men cast reveal. Ooh, that's the one I want to see. Actually,
I want to see a Wolverine reveal, and I think
honestly, it doesn't even need to be the whole cast. You're absolutely right. Literally, just Wolverine would be enough.
I really, really want Taron Egerton to be Wolverine. I think he's young enough, but old enough that it looks like he doesn't age. And he's short. Ooh. Yeah. But also, like the reason, I'm sure some of you are wondering why I brought up the Incredible Hulk randomly and me eating an edible and thinking about that question. It's because the Incredible Hulk came out in 2008. That was such a long time ago, and look how far we've gone. And they've got like at least like another 15 years left in them. So it's like, where do we go from here? You know,
we got a lot to point, right? That's the trick. Now, if you stop, well, the momentum is gone. So we're gonna run this.
You'll have to like restart because like you're gonna want to have a new Iron Man movie, but recast Tony Stark.
I don't know. I think that we're kind of getting that through like Ironheart and stuff like that. We don't introduce like the same hero. We just introduce the next iteration of that hero.
Do you think it's gonna be like a Star Wars deal where every decades, like a few decades, they're gonna like introduce like a new story or whatever?
Yeah.
Or do you think they're gonna like?
Yeah. I think that you really go about it and you just sit there and say, bing, bang, boom. All right, here's the next gen. Jesse says, rumor is that in Insta, you try to get Spielberg for Fantastic Four. And I bet 50X is bullshit, but if my true God does, he have all the sensibilities. It's not Spielberg.
I don't think Spielberg is above it. I'm surprised he hasn't done an MCU project yet.
No, I think that I don't think he's above it, but I also think that at this point, this far into the game, Spielberg doesn't come in. I think it'd be strange for him to do a one and done. I think if Spielberg's going to come in, he's going to do something that he truly is like a diehard, passionate thing about, and he's going to come there and come do a pitch. So I doubt it would be.
I think they would give him a trilogy. Would give him a trilogy.
I think. Well, here's the thing. I think they would want to give him a trilogy, but I don't think he actually would. I think he really does just do a one and done. I think he does like an intro, or like he does like a finale, or something like that.
the man did the Lost World of Jurassic Park. All right,
Listen,
he doesn't. He will do whatever.
listen. He probably will, but no. So here's my point, right? Fantastic Four. If he was gonna do a Fantastic Four movie, he would have fucking done one of those ones already. You know, this will be the third iteration of Fantastic Four in our lifetime. Sometimes fourth, depending on how old you are. And Spielberg's been around that whole time and not done it. So I don't think it makes sense for him to do a Fantastic Four movie. If he does anything, it's gonna be a one-off thing. I wouldn't see it being like him. I don't see him coming in like the Russo brothers and doing like an epic finale and then doing a couple like one-offs or something like that. Plus, I think Marvel is more interested in getting these up-and-coming directors instead of trying to get the huge directors, right? Whereas, I mean, not always, but traditionally now, like, look at what the run they got out of the Russos before the Russos now, I think, got all the run for it because of what they did with Winter Soldier and what they did with Marvel instead of the other way around. Taika has already kind of been up-and-coming, but and there's argument to say he's kind of big, but I think, Ragnarok is what people really started looking at, and then he had JoJo right afterwards. So, I think they want to right. I think they like the up and coming talent more than the already established one. Not that they'll roll it out, but
yeah, they got Chloe Zhao right after she won an Oscar.
Yeah,
up and coming.
Who would you cast Ian McGregor as in MCU? Oh, that one's an easy pick. Nat, you go first.
What the fuck? I knew you were gonna do this. You're trying to be completely unprepared. I don't know. Make it Magneto. I think it would actually be a good Magneto.
McGregor,
but I think Magneto needs to be Jewish. So
McGregor comes in. I got this.
Not so easy, is it? Not so easy.
No. Ian McGregor. McGregor. He has to come in as somebody brainy, somebody smart, not something that's super physical. So they bring him in as like you know who I give him? They're going to give him somebody in the magic realm of Marvel, right? I think they'd give him like another wizard type character. I know that's kind of like the funny bit. But I think they would give him like a big stoic or important character to lore in like the Strangeverse or something like that. I don't have a direct character comes to mind, but I kind of don't want him to have like a character goes right away. Give me the Daniels on an MCU project. Yeah, fuck yeah, I agree.
Oh my gosh, that would be so good. Have you seen Everything Everywhere All at Once yet?
No, I haven't. I haven't.
Come on, Dylan. Stop with the movie. Go see this goddamn movie.
You see me moving. I would love to go watch it.
If you don't see this movie within a week after you're all settled in at your new place, then there's really no excuse like this.
Yeah, I'm just gonna watch it. That's fair. No, the real answer for Ewan is actually giving him like an Eternity character, right? Give him Eternity. Give him like a Celestial type character. I think you give him that to work with, and that's the play. Give him a larger than life character. I have not seen I've seen the movie at least 5 times, Dylan. Shut up, Danny. Shut up.
Danny is a true Asian, so you should be proud of yourself for that one.
He's a New Jersey Asian. So.
No, never mind. Take it back. I mean, I definitely agree. I think it has to be like a celestial kind of character, like you said, Watcher-esque. I think that would be the kind of role that he'd be good in. Like, something big, but not like the central focus of the movie. Yeah, that'd be good. Also, maybe Uncle Ben. Just throwing it out there.
Uncle Ben?
We don't have an Uncle Ben yet, so.
That's fair. Everything Everywhere is God tier. That's fair. I haven't watched it, but that's fair. Ewan is Galactus. Yeah, I would take that. Make him the human avatar version of Galactus.
I've never considered who to cast as Galactus because that's not like an acting role.
That's like a strange role, right? Like it's more CG than anything. But I think if you have Galactus, because you have to have Galactus eventually be fightable. So I think that you give him like a human avatar, something that he can like go down to. Make him Ewan. Make him just incredibly threatening.
Yeah, and I feel like when they introduce Galactus, they're not gonna go the comic book route. obviously gonna have like make it unique to the movies and humanize him kind of. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to that. What are we all asking for our MCU casting all of a sudden? Like we got stuff to talk about, guys. Come on.
Yeah.
Now, who did you cast as Silver Surfer? I don't know, man. Doug Jones.
I actually think Ezra
Joe
or not Joe.
Pesci is Uncle Ben in my headcanon. I respect that.
Who's the Watchmen guy again? Or not the Watchmen guy? The young actor you just said you wanted for Wolverine earlier, Matt.
Taron Egerton.
Thank you, Edgerton. I think Taron actually is better in the Silver Surfer role for me than.
Really, I don't think he's tall enough for the Silver Surfer.
No, I think that's fine.
I think he's the perfect size for Wolverine.
I think he's a good size for Wolverine, but I want him a little bit shorter, if I'm being honest. Way too excited for Goldstein than Charlize Theron. Charlize, I won't lie, I'm not super hot on Charlize.
I love Charlize, but I definitely agree. I'm way more excited for Brett Goldstein.
Yeah, Brett Goldstein is a more exciting pick for me on this one than Charlize. And not that I think Charlize is bad. I really like Charlize, but I'm talking about how short.
I'm talking about how short Taron Egerton is. He's an inch taller than me. I'm like, God damn.
Live tall, short king.
On my driver's license, I have myself as 5'10", but I'm starting to think I'm 5'8". I think I'm 5'8", actually.
You're a little shorter than me, and I'm 5'11", so.
Yeah, 5'8" sounds right.
Yeah, probably.
I'm top for an Asian guy, though.
Yeah. For Asians, I'm a fucking giant. If I ever go over, that's that 50-50 white side. If I go back to any of the Asian cultures, I'm gonna look like, I don't know, LeBron to us, I guess. So.
I'm actually 6 feet on. I'm 6 feet on Tinder, but I don't. Yeah.
I just like the visual of that.
Yeah, just make it like a Gemma Chan situation where she plays two characters, plays two characters.
No, William, shorter. Go shorter. I just want him to be as tiny as possible at this point.
Just get an actual child to play Wolverine.
Can we? Because that would be actually hilarious. You know, okay, here, I'll give you one question before we start to wind down on this, guys. Which do you want more? X-23 from Logan, Daphne Keane herself, coming into the MCU officially? Or Peter Dinklage as Wolverine? Let me know. I need to know.
Easily Daphne Keane. Are you kidding me? I would actually love to see that.
Dude, Daphne Keane is a little bit older now, too, especially. I think she would do a killer X-23 right now.
Oh, she's so good.
Yeah. You know who I actually really want? I want them to flesh out as well. I want them to bring in Dakin. I want them to bring in Wolverine's son as well. I want those story arcs in there. I think you do a Wolverine movie. You don't do any of the fucking Sabretooth bullshit. I don't think you do any of that stuff. I think you go straight in and you have Wolverine as a kid. And you're just like, fuck, dude. This guy fucks. What's the most unannounced sequel that you are most excited for? Thor 5, Strange 3, Eternals 2, Shang, that's also known as Shang-Chi 2, etc.
This is a rough question. If those are our choices, I would have to say because of Brett Goldstein, it would be Thor 5. But like if it wasn't for that end credit scene, I would easily go Shang-Chi 2.
So this says etc. So I'm going to pick one that's not on this list for unannounced sequel.
I want Ghost Rider, fucking Ryan Gosling. Let's go. That's my pick.
No, I want WandaVision 2. I want Wanda having her own property. WandaVision, Wanda something. I know we've kind of already got kind of the perfect situation out of Wanda between WandaVision and from Multiverse of Madness, but she's my favorite character right now. So, yeah, I would just take a sequel for that. In order, though, because I know Taika will get a trilogy with this, so I'm going to say Thor 5, followed by Shang-Chi, followed by Strange, followed by Eternals. Although, that being said, Eternals is, as a concept for the world building, is still completely underrated because what they were able to introduce in that one, sweet.
It says Glenn Powell as Johnny Storm. I am 100% in. I know Dylan probably has not seen Top Gun Maverick yet.
Nope.
But like, he would be perfect as Johnny. He has that likability. even though he can play douchebag so well, but a likable douchebag, and that's what Johnny Storm is. So
You know who I actually really want for Johnny Storm? Ghost Rider's own Ryan Gosling. I think Gosling would be actually really fun as Storm.
I think Gosling's too old now. I think Johnny Storm
Probably
has to
is.
be like
Yeah,
has
if
to
they're
be
going,
at most 30s.
but I don't know. Is he? Because I know they're going younger-ish, but they're also like with Mr. Fantastic we got in Multiverse. He's already kind of established, so they could. Yeah, Gosling's 42. I think he could run like an adult Johnny and just still fuck around. The character
Wouldn't be my first choice.
Yeah. Also, I take back my my answer for Taron Egerton for Silver Surfer. It's definitely got to be Keanu Reeves.
You know what? I would be 100% in on that. I would love that.
Eternals is underrated as fuck. Jesse, I mostly agree. I agree in that what Eternals brought to the table is fucking good. The film just by itself of the merits of the film, underrated, but not too far underrated. That being said, what they fucking did with it, and what they introduced, and what they do for the universe that's for me the big underrated part. Because good God, that movie did a lot of things right.
I think it's properly rated, but I'm not gonna yuck anyone's yum, and I'm really glad you enjoyed it as much as you did. I liked it too. I just, I feel like for me it's mid to bottom tier MCU, but that's just me.
It's I think it's like dead in the middle for me, but I think most people have it so low that I think that's where the underrated part is. I'm like, no, I can see an argument for it. The movie's mechanics are definitely a little sloppy. The main character chemistry, I have a lot to be desired. We did a whole review.
Oh, you know what? Danny brings up a good point. I will choose Young Avengers movie. We're gonna get that at some point, and that's probably gonna go. Kate Bishop, Yelena Belova, fucking who else? Cassie Lang. Oh, it's gonna be so good.
Yeah. Do you think we get Ghost back from Ant-Man and the Wasp?
Oh, I was like the dog from the direwolf from Game of Thrones.
No,
no, I don't think we will. I think that's a one and done.
I kind of think it. I mean, they set her up to kind of be an additional character, but I don't think we get it more. Rodden on RT is garbage for Eternals. I do agree with you on that. I don't think it's that fucking. Yeah, that's.
I don't think it's Rodden.
I think it got panned harder than it deserved to, but I also don't think that it is so drastically insane that it's like. If somebody said that movie's bad, I'm like, I can see the point. I disagree because what I got out of it was giant fucking space Eternals, effectively speaking, and that part was all sick and. A lot of it was good, but I don't know. Jesse, listen, just come on the show next week and we'll do a whole fucking Eternals in retrospect episode or something like that.
Or just come on a show whenever, because now that Snowdown's dead, we're just going to be doing a bunch of different shows.
Yeah.
A bunch of different.
What else are you going to do, Jesse? Right? Jesse Swift, our last No Chill episode so far. How are we going to salvage this season 2? Stay tuned. Eternals is better than Black Widow movie. Taskmaster ruined the film.
See, I disagree. Everyone keeps. Well, I agree that Taskmaster ruined the film.
Taskmaster did not ruin the film. That's for sure.
No, but I think I'm in the minority on this, where I prefer Black Widow over Eternals, because I just love Florence Pugh as Yelena, and she carried the film.
This is kind of my problem, right? I feel like Florence Pugh I liked more than the most out of both of these movies when given the option, but I also really liked the fucking lore building in Eternals. So
I think we can mostly agree that they're on the same level, but for me,
I'll say Black Widow was more entertaining. I think for me, I felt like Black Widow was more entertaining for the long haul. If I'm looking at it from a strict popcorn movie perspective, I'm probably more plugged in and more likely to rewatch that than Eternals at this moment. So Schmodown in Valhalla. That's our show, everybody.
Too soon.
Thanks.
Too soon. Yeah, that's our show. I can't rate anyone because I'm logged into my Twitch and not the channel's Twitch. So I'm sorry. I'm not rating anyone.
So I cannot rate anybody either. So Twitch viewers.
I'm the only one with the access to the Twitch on our channel.
You are. I don't know how you managed to swindle me out of that, but you are the only one with the Twitch access.
All right, well, that's our show, ladies and gentlemen, non-binary friends. I don't think we have any in the chat, but just if anyone rewatches this video and they're non-binary, shout out to you. But we are not going to be rating anyone. We're just going to be closing the stream, and that's our show. Thank you for watching. We'll be back maybe next week, maybe not.
Maybe
Who
not.
knows?
I'm in the middle of moving, so we probably won't. I'll tell you right now. Just go ahead and skip next week. We'll see you all in 2 weeks
Yeah,
because I'm going to be unpacking the whole big house.
You know what? Next, actually, this works. See you in 2 weeks, everybody.